I'm here so I won't get fined.
You think you know sports? Well, you don't know. Well, you don't know Jack. The You Don't Know Jack Show starts now.
Hello, and welcome to the You Don't Know Jack Show. With
so excited.
Jonah, Aaron, and Carson. And today on the show, it is March Madness.
Only one wrong so far. 98% right now. So.
Love how everybody says nobody cares about your bracket, but then they all are like, oh yeah, I've only got this wrong so far. It's like,
I don't care that much. I actually entered like the thing though. I'm doing that ESPN tournament bracket challenge. Or
I have Villanova as my champion, so
you could like win money and stuff out.
Still a possibility.
Oh really?
So recap of the games.
Villanova didn't play that well today.
Well, they ended up killing them in the second half. Notre Dame won the first game 60-58, and the rest of the scores.
God, they got lucky.
Yeah.
Stupid.
They beat Princeton. Virginia beat UNC Wilmington 76-71. Butler beat Winthrop 76-64. Gonzaga beat South Dakota State 66-46. Unfortunately, that did not go in my favor.
You actually picked them?
Yeah, in some of my brackets I did, some I didn't. West Virginia beat Bucknell 86-80. Florida beat East Tennessee State 80-65, and Minnesota, one of the upsets of the day, losing to Middle Tennessee State. And actually, a lot of people had that one. At least I did. You did.
I think you'd have to kind of be dumb not to pick that one.
Especially after last year, they beat a much better Michigan State team than what Minnesota was. Northwestern won 68-66. And the other upset, Xavier beat Maryland.
Don't even talk about
76-65. That's the only game Aaron's got wrong. And then Villanova beat Mount St. Mary's 76-56.
Who picks Maryland? God, I'm not going to get over it.
And then
they'll lose to Florida State. So
I was kind of expecting VCU to actually pull this one out, but St. Mary's
almost picked VCU.
St. Mary's did beat VCU 85-77. And then
sure they're a pretty good. I was looking at it. I think they're a really good offensive team.
Yeah.
No, that could be SMU. I don't know.
And they also
wait, that is SMU.
The other final is Purdue.
Right?
What?
Is that SMU?
No, SMU.
St. Mary's University.
SMU plays tomorrow.
Those are different teams. Don't they even have like the same colors too?
No.
Red, blue, and white. That's what I thought.
Very patriotic.
No, I don't think SMU has blue. From what I see here.
Blue.
Really? I'll take blue.
Where is it?
How is that not SMU,
no, it's
though?
SMU is got a horse on there, or it's a Broncos or whatever.
University.
It's probably. Well, let's look this up. Let's entertain our audience by looking up what the SMU actually
the
is.
Audience is probably screaming at us.
Everybody's like, "How do you not know this?"
Santa Monica?
Southern Methodist University.
Oh, they're like a church thing then.
Yeah.
They use God to.
So yeah, they
put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah.
No.
They are the.
No, they're a good. I think they're a good offensive team. I got those two mixed up.
College basketball team.
They're both 6
trying to
seeds.
figure out what it actually.
St. Mary's is 7. I was gonna say they had
Mustangs. Okay, it's the SMU Mustangs.
Well,
we all know this now.
I knew that part. I didn't know.
We all know this.
They have never won it, I don't believe, but they have been to the Final Four once back in 1956.
Jeez. Back when the white man.
They haven't been to the round of 32 since 1988. So it's been a long time since they've won just a regular game. They've been to the tournament. 2015 they were here, and then before that, the last time they were here was 1993. So it's been a while for SMU, but they will be playing tomorrow, playing at USC, and that game is scheduled to tip off at 2:10 p.m. Central Time, for those of you that aren't here. Other games going in progress right now, which will all be done probably by the time you're listening to this, but Florida State leads Florida Gulf Coast 38-36 with under a minute to go in the first half.
Florida State, push it.
Wisconsin up 33-28 with a minute to go in the first half over Virginia Tech.
Wait, what was that?
Wisconsin 33-28.
I think, I don't know who I picked in that one. I think I picked Virginia Tech.
That Iowa State 23-14 lead over Nevada right now.
I think I picked Virginia Tech because they're in the ACC.
And North Dakota and Arizona just got underway. So
they did good in the toughest conference, so I had to pick them. But
North Dakota and Arizona is the final game of today, and then we start tomorrow at 11:15 again with Oklahoma State and Michigan, which I picked Oklahoma State in that game.
North Dakota?
Yes.
The Bison?
No, not that North Dakota. That's North Dakota State. This is the other North Dakota part of the just regular North Dakota. So it's like
aren't they the same
Iowa.
colors?
No. They're the Fighting Hawks. North Dakota Fighting Hawks.
I think I'm remembering them now.
But yeah, they are rivals of NDSU. So yeah, that's the first round going on so far. I don't know if anybody's bracket's perfect anymore. I would doubt it, but
John Conaway said his mom's is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if that's still the case.
How does that work?
After tonight.
One wrong for me.
What are you thinking? How do you think Duke's going to do here against
championship? Win it. Bye.
Do you think Troy's going to even come close?
Duke, Florida State, Iowa State, and UNC. I think it's my Final Four. And Duke, UNC, and Duke. But Duke against Troy, yeah, that's probably going to be a blowout with the way, they finished and they're healthy right now. Knock on wood there.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I think it'll be close, I think, in the first half, just because Duke seems to be more of a second-half team this year, from what I've seen.
So,
the ACC tournament, because they came back, yeah, against North Carolina, and then they came back against Notre Dame, too.
So, whoever has a perfect bracket,
Catch me outside. How about that?
you can cash you outside. You get money if you
filled out one
still
bracket. Why do people fill out like 80,000 brackets? It's just like,
Oh, I filled out like 5. I joined a couple of different things, but I only filled out one paper bracket, I should say. It's pretty easy to just go down the list of your phone and just do it. Probably next year I probably will just do one or two.
What's cool about the Tournament Challenge app? They have an app for it.
Mm-hmm. ESPN.
And
they are not a sponsor of the show.
It's pretty cool because you can see like the matchup like stats and stuff, and you can gamecast it from that app too. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got some. They got a lot.
Money too.
They got a lot of ways of looking at games now, and there's a system that.
That really helped me though, looking at like comparing the two teams side by side. I think that's the reason I only have one wrong right now.
There's a system that Grant Baker, who's going to be on the show with me next week. He's an NFL draft guy, but he's also into other sports as well. He said that his system that he has picked the national champion 14 out of the last 15 years. So listeners will be able to hear hear what his system is.
Did he pick
believe his
Villanova
system
right last year.
Yep.
Jeez.
It was like
Who did he
2003
pick
or
this year?
4.
Please tell me it's
Oh,
Duke.
it was the Yukon men that he picked wrong whenever they won it.
Oh, well, please tell me you picked Duke this year. Then I'll be like, well,
I
we
think
won
he
it.
picked Kentucky is what he said.
Damn it. Kentucky? I don't see that.
But
He's
They're
got a system.
They're
if that
inconsistent.
system works, then
Yeah.
he might have it right. So I guess we'll find out. But you can.
They're inconsistent. They'd have to play UCLA and North Carolina, most
Yeah.
likely. I
Yeah.
don't see it.
Well, you never
Well,
know.
he
if
has a system.
With UCLA,
I mean,
they could be.
He's gotten it right a lot.
Could be
I'll
done.
give him that, but
14 out of 15.
That's pretty
it's
impressive.
not a terrible
So,
pick. Like
Jeez.
and he's
some-
also a very intelligent draft guy. So
Some people
look
are
forward to
like-
that next week.
picking Gonzaga and stuff. I'm just
So
like, no.
he should be my fantasy football like tutor, right?
No.
Does he do fantasy football?
That's for NFL draft. This is for the
Wow.
just like the not fantasy.
Hey, I
draft.
made the playoffs finally
Dang it.
last year,
Finally. I missed it by a game,
and I lost because
I'm
by like
getting there
5
this year.
points.
I'm not trading for AJ
whatever it
Green
was.
again.
I'm getting this. I'm getting there this year.
How about that trade wasn't that bad, but
Yeah. We have cable now.
you're
so we
not
can-
gonna get there.
Yeah, we
watch-
can. Hey,
we can
hey,
watch
we
games.
We can watch
Yeah.
stuff now. Now
can
we
watch
can
Red Zone.
actually figure
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna get Red Zone one.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then we don't have to be so blindsided by.
You don't really even need Sunday ticket if you have Red Zone because
Yeah, that's true.
it just skips
Yeah.
like the boring now. But I'd rather watch the full game.
It depends
But
on what game it
it's
is.
hard to
We
go.
could go to DirecTV someday if we ever wanted to.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter.
But I mean,
I mean, we
it's
could just
hard to
buy
go
the
back
extra,
and
you know.
forth. But anyways, so that's really it for the tournament. So Duke's going to win it, according to Aaron.
Yep.
I think Villanova's still got a good shot
That'd be
to win it.
That'd be
to be
I
back to
don't-
back.
yeah. I don't even have them in the Final Four. Yeah, because
Jeez.
they'd play.
They'd have to beat Duke to get
yeah,
there.
they'd play Duke.
Yeah.
That'd be
So-
a
You
good.
think
That'll
you
be.
think Duke
I
is
think if that
good
happens,
enough?
that'll be a good game.
Duke's playing really well right now, man.
They've got
Mm-hmm,
probably 2 of the top 10 players in the country right now. Does Duke right now? So that's
So you're saying
Tatum.
You're.
No, I like
your
Kennard.
opinion-
Tatum
think-
and Kennard.
Get off of me. I think Kennard. Stupid cat. I think Kennard reminds me a lot of Reddick, but left-handed and can drive better, I'd say, and
Yep.
finish around the rim better. And
So you're.
I do like Grayson Allen still. I know he's kind of a douche, but
Your bracket
don't know.
isn't biased at all, right?
it is a little. But well, I'm not gonna pick Duke to lose because then I'll be like, you know what I mean? Like you have
Yeah,
to cheer
you'll
for.
foresee that, and then they will lose, and then
No,
you'll be
because
like, oh,
I'd be like cheering for them to lose because I'd be like, there's
My
money on
bracket.
the line. My
Yeah.
bracket.
my bracket.
No, I'd still cheer for them to win.
Yeah.
But if they
I mean-
lost, I'd be like, oh, well, I at least got my bracket right.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have a silver lining there. Well,
No,
got that
I
back,
wouldn't. I don't
probably.
pick. I can't pick against my favorite teams. That's like, I don't know. I just can't do it. I don't know how anybody.
It's
can do
like
it.
it's like
I
rooting.
picked the Cowboys every game last year, and it's like I'm not going to pick against them. I don't.
It's like rooting. It's like
I
rooting
do
for
it,
a
though,
player.
sometimes.
It's like rooting for a player on
I
your
mean-
fantasy team.
I mean, you can
If they're
pick
playing
against your
against your
team. That
favorite
doesn't
team.
mean you're not going to cheer for them to win.
Well, I don't know. It's just.
Like,
like
there,
having a-
there were games like where I thought the Vikings probably would lose, and
Yeah.
but I
Didn't
was
you
still,
pick the Vikings to lose to the Packers that first game?
Yeah, I did.
You should have picked them to lose to them in the second game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think
What are you
I don't
gonna do,
remember if
you
I
know?
did or not. That was a long time ago. But anyways, that is it for NCAA tournament talk, I guess, for now.
Mm-hmm.
And most of this information is going to be absolutely
Null and void.
no value for you guys once you hear this. But now we will move on to free agency in the NFL, which is picking up steam. Excuse me. And we are going to talk about that right after we come back on the You Don't Know Jack show, right after this.
Heading to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Baltimore, New York, London, or anywhere in the world and need a rent-a-car? Well, check out CarRental8.com, where you'll find the same car for less money. CarRental8.com sells all the brands like Dollar, Thrifty, Budget, Avis, Hertz, Alamo, Europcar, and so much more at affordable rates. We'll beat any price by a minimum of 30%. So check us out online at CarRental8.com or call us at 1-813-343-8138. That's 1-813-343-8138.
Use the promo JACKSHOW5, that's JACSHOW5, to get 5% off your next car rental. Use all capital letters when you type in the promo code. Now back to the show. And welcome back to Jack. And now, it's time to talk about free agency.
Yeah, jeez. The Cowboys are losing all their players.
Yes, that's why I played the glass breaking. Vikings have done all right with free agency so far.
Did they release Treadwell yet?
No.
Might as well. I could go out there and get one catch.
Vikings, I'll go through the list for the Vikings, and then we could talk about the
I don't even
Cowboys
want to talk about the Cowboys free agency.
really nothing for the Cowboys.
I'll talk when the draft comes on.
Riley Reef
off.
signed a deal
sure
with the
what you want me to do
Vikings,
about
offensive lineman
That's actually a pretty good signing.
from Detroit. He's going to be better than TJ Clemmings. That's all I care about.
They should
Mike
have got
Remmers.
Doug free. You said
He retired now.
Did he?
Frog
Yep.
D.
What?
Yep.
Why did I hear? I got the update that he was gone. I didn't get.
Yeah, that's where he's gone.
Well,
he
that
retired.
sucks. Yeah, that sucks for the
They
Cowboys.
signed Mike Remmers from Carolina to probably play right tackle.
The Vikings should have signed Ronald Leary.
Yeah, he went to Denver, I believe.
Yeah.
Dayton Jones from Green Bay, a defensive lineman. They signed Latavius Murray yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's an interesting.
Latavius Murray, dude.
I don't know about that.
Latavius Murray
he's a good running
is
back.
a pretty good from the highlights I was showing. He was running really well
No,
out of the
he's
shotgun.
good. I'm not. That's not what I'm unsure about. I'm just unsure.
The fit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Well, he's a good shotgun runner, and
know.
he's a better catcher and pass blocker than what Adrian Peterson was. And, of course, you still got McKinnon probably that'll do some third
I guess
down
Murray
stuff.
is still pretty young.
27.
He's freaking huge.
Yeah.
It's like 6'6" or something. I don't know. He's
They
tall.
re-signed Jeremiah Searles, offensive lineman. He'll probably be a guard or right tackle, right guard, right tackle maybe. Re-signed Terrence Newman for another year.
No, come
at 38.
on. Go home.
Woo!
He's actually not that bad still.
And finally, they got Thielen an extension.
Woo!
3 years for Thielen. $17 million deal, which he could earn up to $27 million in incentives, $10 million in incentives, which would be a 27 total. But the Vikings also have lost their share of players. They lost Matt Khalil, which isn't a big deal because they replaced him. He went to Carolina. Red Ellison, tight end, went to the Giants. Jeff Locke, punter, went to the Colts.
Lost the old punter.
Wide receiver Charles Johnson went to the Panthers.
What?
Linebacker Ronnie
Charles
Cole
Johnson.
went to the Jaguars. Captain Munnerlyn went back to the Panthers.
Oh.
3 Vikings have gone to Carolina now.
Stupid Carolina.
Patterson goes to the Raiders, and
What?
Andre Smith to
They
the
got rid of
Bengals.
Patterson?
Yeah,
Wow, to the Raiders. I like that. They're going to actually use him right.
really, because Grant Baker disagrees. The guy that I'm going to have on. He's a Raiders fan, and he's a draft guy. He's not too happy with the Raiders
Why, though?
so
Because
far. We'll find
they
out next
have-
week.
They can use him in so many ways with Cooper and Crabtree and,
They did sign Jared Cook today, the Raiders did, so
well, that too. And then
that was very
with the
sad that the
Raiders,
Vikings didn't sign
since
him.
losing Murray and stuff, maybe they'll switch him to running back.
I don't know. Now the Vikings need to trade up in the first round, and they need to draft O.J. Howard, and I'll be...
They don't need...
Really happy.
Rudolph is fine.
Rudolph's fine, but they need another weapon, man. They do.
Yeah, they should have used Cordero right.
No, because he's not a receiver. He's just a gadget guy.
Well, he could have played him at running back.
Not everybody's Ty Montgomery, though. And everybody forgets, too, that Ty Montgomery actually played running back before. So.
Yeah, they didn't have any problem letting Fat Lacey go.
Yeah, it's... And also the Vikings shut the door on Adrian Peterson coming back today, too, so...
Yeah, and I don't
He's officially not coming back, according to Rick
I don't
Spielman.
want to talk about the Cowboys
So,
off-season
the Cowboys
because they lose everybody.
Cowboys have done a whole lot of this.
I guess there's a reason for it, though. They'll figure it out. They have a plan, obviously. That and they don't have a lot of cap space right now. Mm-hmm. But they have to have a plan. They're going to do something. Especially after going what they did last year. They're not just going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
But, you lose Barry Church and Doug Free. Well, you can't help that. Should have kept Leary, though.
Yeah.
Why'd they get rid of Claiborne?
Where did he go?
They sign him? To the Jets, I think.
Oh,
but
jeez. Hey, they could sign Darrell Revis. He got
Claiborne
cleared.
played well last year, and he's still young, so I don't know.
Hey, they could sign Darrell Revis, I'm telling you.
I was actually thinking they might do that, and I'm going to be like, oh, my God. He can't play anymore. He got burned a lot last year.
It would be such a Cowboys thing to sign Darrell Revis.
And then release him, midway through the season.
Sorry. He has been brought to prison again. We have to release him. Oh, my
No,
gosh.
I think they learned their lesson after the Greg Hardy thing. Mm-hmm. So it was good they didn't keep him around.
I think the number one priority for the Cowboys should be Hassan Reddick. He's a defensive end from Temple. That
guy?
Yeah, he is a beast. He dominated
they're talking
every
about
facet
wanting
of
to
the combine.
What the hell is his name from Texas A&M? But they're not going to get him.
Garrett.
He'd be like the number one pick.
Yeah, he's going to... Well, if
Maybe.
Cleveland isn't stupid,
maybe,
then they will
God, somebody
get him.
should pick Deshaun Watson, though. 2 national championships? Come on.
Yeah, I was on the idea that he was maybe not going to be a good pro quarterback, which still could be the case with
I think he'll be
the
good.
interceptions, but from his career of winning at Clemson, it's hard to believe that he won't at least be a winner in the NFL.
I mean, he did have good weapons, and, they had a pretty good defense, but still.
Yeah.
He put up... Yeah, the interceptions and the turnovers are bad, but he did put up some numbers in his career.
Yeah.
Especially in that last title game, so I don't know. I mean, he should go in the first round at least.
Oh, yeah.
They were
He'll
talking
definitely
about, him and that Trubisky or whatever the hell his name
Mitch
is.
Trubisky.
Wasn't going to go in the first round, and I was like, oh, come on.
I think the minimum for quarterbacks in the first round is 2, and I think the ceiling is 3. I don't see any more than 3 quarterbacks going in the first round this year.
Yeah.
But I think at least 2 will.
I
but
can't
no more
even
than
think
3.
of one outside of those 2. You know what's funny? I was watching some quarterbacks work out on the path to the draft or whatever it is, and I saw C.J. Beathard on there.
Oh,
I was like,
jeez.
no!
Oh, my gosh.
He actually looked pretty decent in the drill they were doing, but I was like...
Dude, he is
And then they turn on his film from last year.
He is starting
and then
quarterback.
they just do this.
Yeah.
No, they should have played a film from 2 years ago, and they would have been like, oh,
Yeah.
he's pretty
He
good.
is definitely starting quarterback material.
But now it's just like...
I'm so glad he's gone. He wasn't terrible, but God, he just had no pocket awareness.
Well, that, and I think also he had an injury that... I think that sports hernia or whatever he had was still holding him back.
Right, but he gets injured because he takes so many damn sacks.
Yeah.
He just sits there
Yeah, people are or Hawkeye fans are like, he is just not no. They're like, the offensive line is just so bad they're allowing sacks, and they don't realize that half of them are on C.J. Beathard. It's like...
He doesn't throw the ball, like...
And then he goes right into the guy that's trying to sack him, too.
It's almost like he sits there and, like, waves to the defensive end. He's like, hi.
Hey, he goes into his offensive lineman who knocks him down, or the defensive end, like, grabs
Teddy
around him.
Bridgewater do that once?
Oh, yeah. He's done all kinds of stuff. And then he was grabbed down, and then he left hands it to a Packers defender.
Oh, jeez. No,
Vikings still won that game, though. So
I think that
matters.
I don't know. I don't see Beathard even getting drafted. Honestly, he might.
He might just because of what he did last year.
He'll be the new Tony Romo.
The year before.
He's a tough kid.
He'll go undrafted, and then
I don't know. I was so happy when the Hawkeyes got rid of Rudock, and now I'm kind of like, maybe.
I'd still take Beathard over Rudock, though.
Yeah, I'd probably say that. I'm kind of excited for the next kid for Iowa, that Stanley guy.
Yeah. Stanley, yep. Well, he's going to be good. Iowa's got a really good defensive end coming in this year, too. That he'll be fun to watch. So Iowa football should be good again, too. But that's going to do it for NFL talk. And when we come back, we're going to close the show, and we will talk about NBA action. We got some championship caliber teams slumping right now.
No, we won tonight.
And we will talk about that when we come back after this on the You Don't Know Jack Show.
We win. We beat a good team.
Do you like shopping on Amazon? Well, now you can do it by helping the show at the same time. Go to the website youdon'tknowjackshow.com and click on any of the Amazon links, and then you can bookmark it. And every time you shop on Amazon, click the bookmark. It's the easiest way to support us without any extra cost to you. Now back to the show.
Hey listeners, don't forget to find You Don't Know Jack Show on Facebook at facebook.com/You Don't Know Jack Show. Twitter at twitter.com/Don't Know Jack Show. And Instagram at instagram.com/You Don't Know Jack Show. You can also follow Carson on Twitter at Radio Ruben. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to the You Don't Know Jack Show. And now it's time to talk some NBA with
I actually watched the end of that Clippers-Bucks game last night. That was a good one. Blake Griffin almost had the game winner.
Almost.
Ooh.
So close.
Cable's great, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are happy that we can actually get games now. Cavs won tonight by 8, 91-83 over the Utah Jazz. Oh, man. The Thunder beat Toronto, but asterisk, as Kyle Lowry didn't play in that game. That's a huge difference. I know you say one player doesn't make a team, but Kyle Lowry's an excellent defender. Corey Joseph is not that great. You put Kyle Lowry back in, he's going to help defend Westbrook better, and he's also going to get better shots and score more than what Joseph did tonight. And Joseph had, I think, like 11 points.
And Brooklyn put 121 on the Knicks. That's so bad. Like,
but
where's the Knicks' pride? Like, seriously, you're gonna let the Nets, the worst team, put up 121 on you?
But before last night, they had been slumping. Both Golden State and Cleveland were in a slump. They had. Yeah,
they are the worst team. Wow.
Golden State.
13 wins.
Golden State was before last night's win over Philadelphia. Goodness, they had a loss, 3 in a row.
They barely beat them, didn't they? Or wait,
yeah, 106-104. But Philadelphia hasn't been that bad this year. So I mean, they haven't been good, but they haven't been as bad as what they were which is not saying much also.
I'm not even seeing. That was 2 nights ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Cavs had lost 3 out of 4, or 4 out of 5, excuse me. And
Won 2 in a row now.
Now it's 2 in a row after tonight. But
got Kevin Love back too.
But were you getting a little concerned there with that little slump?
No, because Love wasn't in there, so I was like, they're gonna struggle a little bit because he's been playing really well this year. So, and that I thought he would take a little longer to come back. So, he played a little tonight. He played 19 minutes tonight. Had 10 points, had a few boards. So, yeah, with Kevin Love, they're a totally different team.
So
a lot better offensively, I'd say.
So now, be honest with this. Don't lean one way because you're biased. But do you think that? Are you surprised that Golden State kind of got in that little shooting slump?
Kind of, actually, but, that just kind of proves the point that, if they can't shoot well, they're not going to beat teams, you know? Like,
Well, and the Kevin Durant injury is obviously taking a toll.
That's the same with Love. I would say Durant's better, obviously, but...
And they're learning to play without him again, which they weren't doing for quite a while, which they also, last year, it's hard to go back to that also because then you take Iguodala back off the bench, and they don't have Harrison Barnes, who they had last year to fill that spot, small forward spot.
They gave away a little bit too much for that.
Yeah.
I think that they won't even get the first seed. I'm not even trying to be mean about that. They're just not going to do it. I think the Spurs are going to...
Spurs have been playing really well.
Yeah, so I think the Spurs will get it. They got Aldridge back, healthy, even though he struggled against Portland, and Portland actually beat them. I should have watched more of that game. But I think they'll win it, probably by like 2 games. There's only like 14 games left, so...
Yeah.
And I think the Cavs will win the East by a couple games because Boston's playing well. And
Boston could catch up. You never know, but yeah, Cleveland probably will still take that.
The Wizards, too. Don't forget about that.
Wizards are good. I think of all the teams, I think Boston and Washington are probably the most dangerous. I mean, if you're talking about Toronto when they're on all cylinders, which sometimes is not very often, then if they are on all cylinders, then yeah, they're a team to beat. But it seems to me that they're kind of inconsistent at times.
I think Toronto's done now because they made it to the Eastern Conference and now they're going downhill. And I think Wizards don't even play defense, and I think Boston's the only team that's going to... And I even think their ceiling would be to win 2 games against Cleveland. And that's probably with some players banged up for the Cavs. I just don't think they're quite there yet. But look out for them next year if they, get another superstar or something. And we'll see.
The Spurs are the hottest team in the NBA right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Some other teams that are 7-3, the Wizards, in their last 10.
The Wizards.
The Wolves were doing really well until they lost to Boston last night.
Damn it.
But the Wolves are still only, Denver's been playing really well, unfortunately for Minnesota, because now they're back 4 games behind Denver. But the good news for Minnesota is the schedules are starting to go in the Wolves' favor because tonight Denver's playing the Clippers. They play Houston 2 games in a row. Then they play Cleveland, Indiana, the Pelicans, Portland, and Charlotte. All here yet in March. So they've
Who are we talking about?
The Nuggets. They've got quite a hard schedule.
Why are we talking about the Nuggets?
Because they have the 8th seed right now. And
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. They're playing the Clippers right now.
Portland is
Stop.
2 games back right now of Denver, so they could catch up.
Yeah, Denver's beating the Clippers by 20 right now.
But for Minnesota, they play Miami tomorrow night, which could be a tough one because Miami's kind of fighting to get in. But then they play the Pelicans. The Lakers is on the schedule. They do also have the Spurs and the Trailblazers and the Pacers. But they play the Lakers twice yet here in March. So if they beat them and they beat Miami and they beat the Pelicans, which could be a tall task for a young team, but if they win those 4-5 games, they'd be in pretty decent shape because then they got Sacramento at the end of the year, and then maybe not. They've got a tough schedule too, I guess. Looking at it, they play Sacramento, which is one of the easier ones. Utah, they've beaten Utah pretty bad, but then they play Houston, Oklahoma City, Portland, Golden State, and Utah, I said already. So they play some tough games yet.
Look at it in the East. Detroit and Miami are tied. Chicago's a game behind them. Charlotte's a couple games behind them. Even the Knicks still have a chance.
Yeah. My opinion is kind of changing on Ricky Rubio. I was really against him, but he's been playing a lot better lately. I still think he turns the ball over probably a little bit, maybe too much. He did only have 1 turnover against Boston, so he's improving in that.
I was actually noticing that, too, that he was playing better
lately. He had 19
lately.
assists the other night against the Wizards.
I watched the beginning of that Boston game, and they showed his stats over like the last few games, and pretty good.
He was 3 for 5 from
scoring.
3 last night.
Yeah, if he could just improve his jump shooting.
And Wiggins was 2 for 4.
I always pick Rubio, or I have a lot, in like 2K because, I don't know, he can pass, he can defend.
And you don't need him necessarily to do a whole lot because if you get like, I've always thought he would be a good fit in Cleveland. I always did because you put like if you didn't have like JR and if you didn't have Korver at shooting guard, you put Kyrie at shooting guard, and you have Rubio just distribute to whoever, LeBron, Kyrie, Thompson, whoever's out there, I think that'd be a good fit.
I think the Cavs need scorers, though, because, LeBron and Kyrie and Love can't score every single point,
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I love him.
Rubio in the wine and gold, but...
So, that is going to just about do it, I think. And taking a look here quickly at some NBA news before we drop out here. Westbrook, another triple-double. Surprise, surprise. I still think he's overrated.
Getting so sick of hearing about his triple-doubles. Oh, well.
Shumpert had an injury in the win over the Jazz.
Nah, he sucks anyway.
Marc Gasol, triple-double. There's a good triple-double news, finally. Against the Hawks.
You would think he would have more. He only has 3.
Oh, really?
I don't know. He can do it all.
Mm-hmm.
He is a center, though. And he's huge. So that kind of probably hinders it a little bit. But...
what do you think about the Pelicans experiment so far? Do you think they've...
I was watching, I think it was ESPN, or Sports Center, the other night, or the other day, whatever it was, and they were talking about how it, can't work unless they get better players around them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have to agree with that.
Well...
It's nobody can make shots on their team.
The Kings and the Pelicans are both 27 and 41 right now. So, and Sacramento, even though they've lost 8 of their last 10, but they have won 2 in a row, which has now put them back tied with New Orleans at 27-41. So, I mean, if you're going by just this year, it seems like Sacramento is winning the trade because they were trading Cousins and probably not even thinking they were going to be better than the Pelicans. And then the Pelicans getting Cousins were hoping that would lead to them getting to the playoffs, which is not even remotely happening right now.
I'm just surprised how bad it's been. Like, you would think they would be able to win, a few games. Jeez.
I mean, they're not totally out of it yet, but they're
You
5.5
can't really have
games
those
back.
two and have, like, the rest of their team is like bench players, though.
Yep.
Drew Holiday is decent, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's not.
Players.
He's not a good. He's more of a scorer than a passer or whatever. So I mean, I wouldn't want him as my future point guard. Maybe off the bench, but that's about it. So the standings as of right now: Cleveland in first, Boston 2.5 back in second. Washington's in third, 4 games back. Toronto fourth, 6.5 games back. Atlanta fifth, 8.5 back. Indiana sixth, 10.5 back. Milwaukee 12 back in seventh, and then Detroit's in eighth and 12.5 back. That's the East, and then in the West, you've got Golden State just 1 game ahead of San Antonio.
Why are those teams in the East fighting so hard just to play Cleveland? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
I'd be like, you guys have it. I don't want it.
Yeah, just lose a few games here and there,
And then
let them have it.
Don't make it look obvious. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
like accidentally miss a shot or something.
And Houston has an outside chance of winning the West, but it's very, very outside, I should say. 6.5 games back.
yeah, I don't see that.
But they have clinched a playoff spot, which Cleveland actually hasn't even done that yet. 3 teams in the West have done that yet, or so far. Obviously, Cleveland's going to get in and everybody, but I'm just saying it's kind of interesting how some of these teams have clinched before Cleveland, but it's kind of because of that little skid they were on, and Golden State clinched before they went on that skid. So, okay. And then Utah's fourth, 11 games back. Clippers are fifth, 13.5 back. Do you think the Clippers still have anything left? Do you think CP3's going to be able to carry them to at least one playoff series win, or do you think Clippers are going to make a quick exit?
Probably a quick exit. It just is what it is.
I mean, DeAndre Jordan, he's always a liability late in games. Blake Griffin is not... he's good. Obviously, he's really good, but he's not clutch, I would say, was probably a good way to put it. CP3 just doesn't have enough help, I don't think.
They're just going to have to rebuild that team. I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is.
I think they should have got rid of Blake.
Blake will probably go. DeAndre will probably go. Chris might stay. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out.
I think they should just restart the whole thing, honestly.
Maybe they will make a run this year, and we'll be like, whoa. Didn't see that coming.
Yeah, well, I'd take them over OKC. I don't like Russell Westbrook at all. I don't.
I think they could beat OKC.
OKC. I think depending on who Oklahoma City would get, they would get, as of right now, they would get Houston.
I was going to say. Well,
they would get Houston.
Either way, they'd be screwed, but that would be actually an epic battle because you'd get Harden against Westbrook.
former teammates. I think Oklahoma City would be done right away if they played Houston. I think Houston.
Would you take the Clippers over the Jazz though? I would take the Jazz.
I would take the Jazz, yeah, just because they've got enough young talent and they're
good defensively.
The only thing the Jazz need is a superstar. The Clippers have got many of them, and
Gordon Hayward's becoming that, but Yeah,
Still
if
need
they
another
had
really, really good player.
another piece. 'Cause they got
Maybe CP3.
George Hill, Hayward, Favors, Gobert. I mean, that's a pretty good team already right there. And, Burks. And
I just don't like George Hill as a starting
they
point
got
guard.
Rodney Hood, too.
Hood?
Yeah, George Hill's kind of, but
I think he's a good off-the-bench point guard, but other than that...
would you take Rubio over George Hill?
Yes, I would, as of right now.
Right now, but, overall, that's tough. I don't know.
I think...
I've always liked Rubio. A lot of people are hard on him, but I think if he was just a little bit better of a jump shooter, he'd be like the next Steve Nash.
Yeah, could be.
Score more. He is still pretty young yet, I think. I think
he's only 27, 28, something like that.
So,
you never know. I think
start to reach his prime or his.
I think the big deal, obviously, is growing for the Timberwolves, and then they also have to get a power forward. I think Gorgie is.
I think they need to trade Levine. For a better power forward.
I don't know if they can trade him now.
Well, they've played better without him. He's a good player, but they've played better without him, I would say, for the most part.
I think Brandon Rush may be playing better, D.
Gorgie Jang is kind of, I like him, too, but, yeah, he's a little...
I kind of like him coming off the bench as like a seventh man, sort of.
Should have kept Pekovic.
Oh, he was not very good at the end. Couldn't stay healthy, and I really wasn't that big of a fan.
A little bit.
He was about a year, maybe two, but yeah, he was injury prone, and the Wolves, I think, will be free of his contract after this season, so he'll be gone. And then they should draft Tatum. There you go. No, that probably wouldn't work.
They need to get a few more pieces.
What would be a good power forward fit for the Timberwolves? Like a good defensively, doesn't need a whole lot of offense, but would be reliable.
You really got to think about who's going to be a free agent, who would be open to trading, and
they talked about maybe
who's in the draft. Really.
They talked about maybe trading the Bulls for Taj Gibson. I don't know if he'd be a good fit for that.
You realize Taj Gibson plays for the Thunder, right?
Well, they were talking about it before he ended up going to...
You know who they could get is Mirotic. He's not bad. Another Bulls power forward.
Yeah.
Taj Gibson on the Wolves. He'd be back with Thibodeau.
That's kind of what the big thing is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thibodeau, Tommy.
Tom Thibodeau. I talk like this.
He's a
good coach, though.
Yeah, he's a very good coach.
But he talks funny.
Wolves have a bright future. Probably won't get into the playoffs this year, but they've got a bright future. So
not enough wins for the old T's.
The T's.
But T's.
Like other teams like Memphis, they're getting older.
Watch out for the Nuggets in the playoffs.
Tony Allen, he should retire by now.
Playoffs?
He's 35.
If the Nuggets make it.
Vince Carter will retire probably after this year. Conley.
Watch out for Jokic, or however the hell you say
Jokic.
There you go. And Nurkic.
Yeah,
where do you say that guy's name?
Where is he? I always look for him on their roster. I always thought they were on the same team for some reason.
I think he got traded to Portland.
What?
Pretty sure.
What?
No, they're both pretty good, though. They came out of nowhere. It's like, who are these guys? Like, that Jokic guy is 87 on 2K already. It's like, who is this? He, always wins most improved player when I do a thing.
What was this trade? I want to see this trade.
I don't know if it was a trade or not, but he actually, dominated the other day. I was like, oh, they got him now.
Yeah, traded along with the rights to the Memphis Grizzlies. First-round draft pick to the Portland Trail Blazers in exchange for Mason Plumlee, a 2018.
Oh, he was on the Grizzlies.
Second-round draft pick.
Right.
Wait. The Nuggets season opener.
Yeah, he was on the Grizzlies.
Oh, he was with the...
Was he with the Nuggets?
Yeah, he was with the Nuggets.
Went to the Grizzlies.
He's with the Nuggets. And
then the Grizzlies. And then Portland. Where did these two come from is what I want to know.
I am confused. I know NBA people are like, dude, you guys are stupid. But yeah, we probably are. But anyways.
Well, I just don't know where these two players came
he was
from.
He was drafted by the Bulls. And then he ended up going. Nurkic was selected by the Bulls, the 16th overall pick in the 2014 draft. He's later traded to the Nuggets on draft night. On the 31st of July, he signed his rookie scales contract.
He didn't play for the Grizzlies?
Win over the Grizzlies. I went to record, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Nurkic was traded along with the rights to the Grizzlies' first-round pick, which Portland must have had, I guess.
So he didn't play for the Grizzlies?
No. He was traded to the Portland Trailblazers in exchange for Mason Plumlee and a 2018 draft pick.
So they both played for the Nuggets.
So Plumlee plays for the Nuggets now, but Nurkic plays for the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
And then, so, yeah, I guess that's it. So, all right, well, that is going to do it for the show after we have finally figured out where Jusuf Nurkic is actually at. Jusuf, or whatever his name is. How do you pronounce it?
Somebody get this juice off of me. Jews off? Jews?
Jusuf?
We're turning this into a Jewish thing?
Whoa. Okay.
Jews off.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's another Jew.
Oh, God.
That's going to do it for the show. For Jonah, Aaron, I'm Carson. And for next week, we will see you. I will be with Grant Baker to talk NFL draft.
We'll see you. I will be with.
And he'll talk about the Raiders' offseason moves so far. And we'll probably talk some March Madness also.
Raiders going to suck.
Oh, man. Derek Carr's terrible quarterback, just like his brother. No, just kidding. All right, that'll do it. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the You Don't Know Jack Show with Jonah, Aaron, and Carson. If you want to read articles, get more information, or have questions about the show, go to our website, youdon'tknowjackshow.com. You can subscribe and listen to the show on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio.